When I really want to talk about creating an online store, there is a formula for success. And you got to follow this logic. If you really want to launch everything and you want to start making money right off the bat, you need to follow this specific formula for success that I'm going to share with you into this conversation, okay? And so here are the steps I really want you to pay attention to when it comes to starting an e-store. If you want to have a profitable e-store from the get-go, first thing first, you need to get your business idea right. This might sound like a very sort of a basic piece of advice, but you'll be really surprised in our experience and all the countless business clients that we actually advise that people don't have the business idea right. They might be thinking, well, this is my passion and I'm going to try to monetize my passion, but my passion could be your passion. But when it comes to monetization, maybe the market is not there. Okay. So you got to ask yourself a few questions. Is my service or product original? It doesn't have to be, but it definitely helps. Can I produce my service or products to a standard that will make it stand out above other similar offerings? Because remember, this is a very competitive marketplace. Is my proposition easy to understand? Does my product meet a clear need? Is there a customer base for my product or service? Can I realistically reach that customer base? Okay, those are questions you got to ask yourself, because if you don't get it right from the get-go, it'll be very complicated down the road. Okay, and it's really important to understand that if you want to really have a clear idea of where the market is, you got to really start asking those questions right off the bat, like really from the beginning. Remember, most successful businesses always solve a problem. So, boss, I want you to really think about whether or not your new business will solve a problem. It must solve a problem. Your online store, your online business must solve a problem if you want it to succeed. Okay. By the way, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. We love having this kind of convos every now and then. Okay. So when we talk about the checklist for starting an online business, number one, you want to get your business idea right. You want to solve a problem. You want to actually analyze the market. You want to have your buyer persona really clarified, if you will. The second thing you need to do here is to make a business plan. Now, when we talk about business plan, I'm not asking you to actually have something complicated. No, you don't have to. Sometimes you go on the internet, you have those business plan templates, but never do that. When we talk about having a business plan, don't go for those cheap ass business plan templates that you can download from some kind of dodgy websites, and they're just trying to get your data. You don't want that. You want to spend money to make money. You got to spend money to make money. So what you want to do here is that you can actually use business plan software, okay, to actually create your own bespoke business plan for your online store. Or you can actually go on websites such as a Fiverr, you can go on a TopTal, you can go on freelancer.com and buy and pay someone to actually write a business plan for you. Now, if money is not a problem for you, you can actually hire a local business plan writer. There are companies that actually do that for a living. You have people who do that for a living too. You can actually have a consultant. I mean, they're more expensive though, but they'll get you a sophisticated, really clear business plan. The bottom line here is that you want to spend money to make money. Okay. Don't go for something cheap. Very important. The third thing I want you to do here is to choose your funding model. So the whole thing is, if you want to start an online business, you got to have, unless again, you are just awash in cash, you're going to have to think about your funding model. Now, it's really important when we talk about funding model, I'm talking about your business financing. How do you finance your startup? How do you finance your online business? Have you thought about your cash inflows? What are those sources of cash inflow? Okay. So there are 4 components when it comes to cash inflows, or at least investments. You have investors, you have business grants, you have business loans, and you have crowdfunding. Now, when we talk about business loans, we're also talking about things like business lines of credit, and we're also talking about things like business credit cards. You can use your own credit card to finance your online store. Okay. And it's really important to think about that. So you want to be clear about what really matters to you, to your business from the get-go. So choose your funding model. Now, the funding model will depend on your business plan, will depend on your niche, because some investors will be interested in your niche versus others. Okay. Or some niches might be well suited for a crowdfunding campaign versus others. Some niches might be better suited for a business loan application than others. So it's really on a case by case basis. If you have questions, I encourage you to drop those questions in the comment section below, and our team will definitely get back to you and will give you a more customized answer based on your situation. The third thing, the fourth thing I want you to do right now is to choose a business name. This is so important. Okay, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. I'm giving you a checklist actually for starting an online business, okay, so that you can actually start from the get-go and really boost your chances of success real quick. What I want to do here is that when we talk about choosing a business name, actually nowadays you have a lot of platforms whereby you have a name generator, automatic name, random name generator. So you don't have to really kill yourself to actually find a business name that is suitable for your online stores. But you need to have a name though, okay? Online visibility for any business is absolutely vital, including your business. So you got to think about the name. The name has to be suitable. The name has to be in sync with your niche, and the name has to be really good in terms of SEO. It's kind of funny. People never tell you this, but your name should also be pretty similar, not similar, but should be in sync with your SEO. What I'm trying to say here is that if you're selling sneakers, for example, or you're selling cosmetics, use a name that actually you can call yourself Cosmetica with a K, for example, so that you still are in sync with your SEO strategy. What I want you to do right now next is to register your trademark, because we got to really pay attention to the intellectual property side of things, to the IP side of things, okay? And when we talk about that, you want to watch out for trademark scams. It's really important to understand that if you are going to sell online, you are going to sell to the whole world. At least I hope for you that you want to sell to the whole world and not just to the States or Canada or a limited geography here. And it's important if you want to sell globally that you be protected in terms of regulatory compliance, in terms of IP lawsuits, that you be protected globally. Okay. And because trademark registers are publicly searchable, you may receive scam communications from official sounding organizations asking you for money to complete your trademark registration. Make sure that you check with the relevant official trademark authority if you are in any doubt regarding the authenticity of correspondence that you receive about your trademark. This is important. Don't fall for that. Okay, don't fall for that. The next thing I want you to do here is to register your domain and social media handles. Okay, so you can actually do this through the web hosting, or through your e-commerce platform. So if you go with Shopify or BigCommerce or BigCartel or Wix, they actually will handle that part of things for you. Okay, choose the most relevant domain extension for your business. You want to register a few related domains so that if something were to happen, let's say you choose mysexiness.com. You can actually also register mysexiness.info, mysexiness.guru, mysexiness.coaching, whatever, and you want to actually make sure you set your domain to auto renew, okay, so that you don't have to remember all the time. You want to lock your domain. You want to use a reputable provider. This is important. You want to keep your domain and hosting separate. This is important so that you actually don't put all your eggs in the same basket, because although a lot of services encourage you to use both, okay, to register a domain and host your site with them, it's safer to keep the two things separate. This is because if you get locked out of your hosting account or it got hacked, you'd still be able to access your domain and reinstate your website at the same web address with another hosting provider. Okay, so this is important to think about it that way. I want to quickly talk to you now about number 7. I want you to actually choose a legal structure. So when we talk about choosing a legal structure, we are essentially talking about the type of company you want to have. Simply because you have an online business doesn't actually mean you don't have responsibilities anymore. You still have responsibilities, right? You still need to pay your taxes. You still need to file all kinds of regulatory paperwork. You still need to file your annual report with the state authorities. You still need to collect and transmit sales tax to the authorities, to the state authorities. Okay, and if you have to pay excise taxes to the federal government, you have to make sure that you abide by your fiscal responsibilities. So it's important here to choose a legal structure that actually suits your business and your vision. So you can choose an LLP, like a limited liability partnership, a limited liability corporation, not corporation, limited liability company, an LLC, LP, LLC. You can also have a corporation. You can also have a partnership. You can have, when it comes to corporation, you can have an S corporation or a C corporation. Okay, so those are really important. Now there are definite advantages and disadvantages for every type, or you can choose to actually be a sole proprietor. You can be a sole trader. Okay, and but if you have a specific question, please drop them below and we'll answer you because it's important. And I just want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a convo about the checklist you need to have for starting an online business. Next, I want you to really create, like, you need to register. Okay, you need to actually register your business with the relevant authorities. Okay, if you are, like, everything happens at the state level most of the time in the state, but if you're selling to overseas, if you're selling to clients overseas, don't forget about things like GDPR. In EU countries, if you have folks who actually are basically visiting your website, if you have European visitors into your website, think about that. What about California? California, you have the California Consumer Privacy Act. Those are important elements to really think about. Okay, but again, here we're not giving you an exhaustive list of regulations. Let us know if you are interested in a specific one, and we'll get back to you on that. The next thing I want you to do here is to actually sort out your business operations. So when I talk about business operations, I'm thinking about like the back office, right? Because even though you have an online store, you still need to have some kind of a physical backbone that will actually serve, that will be the fulcrum of your business. Okay. And so we're talking about here the business location. So where should you operate? Do you need any retail space? Do you want to work from home? Do you want to work from a virtual office? Like, you got to think about those things, right? Staffing. Do you need a team, or can you operate on your own initially? Or do you want to operate on your own for life? What about business accounts? Which bank will you use to set up your business bank account? How are you going to structure your accounting systems and manage cash flow? Who is going to have access to your company bank account? Do you need company credit cards? Okay. What are your legal obligations? Are you aware of all the legal requirements relating to your business type, like things like business licenses and permits? Those are important considerations to have. Have you got all the right licenses in place? Have you got a sales tax permit? Are you meeting data protection laws? What about equipment? What sort of computers will you use? Macs, PCs, or Chromebooks? What other items of equipment are key to the smooth running of your business? Okay. What about the software? What operating system will you use? Which accounting software is best for managing your business finances? Which apps will you invest in? What about delivery methodology? How exactly are you going to fulfill your services and products? Okay. What about cybersecurity? How will you keep your business safe online? What about data capture? What data do you need to capture from your customers? Okay. How are you going to do this? Okay. It's very important, because at the end of the day, you need to put your sales funnel, your data capture, your lead generation process on autopilot, right? What about data capturing? Not data capture, I already said that. But what about data protection? So are you capturing data legally? I just said that. It's important to really think about those things, okay? Those things. What I want to do here is I want to show you, I want to explain the fact that it's important to really think about those things beforehand, because you don't want to wait for a problem to happen before you react. Because when a problem happens, it's already too late. Okay, so this is really important to think about those things from the get-go, so you have a clear idea about what you really want to do. Okay. Now you need to actually create your brand. Okay, so after you have done everything, you got to create your brand, because hey, listen, Your brand is going to be the fulcrum of your business, of your online business. So you got to create your brand, what your logo, you need to think about what your logo will look like, what color palette, okay, is used across all your materials, in which context, what typefaces should be used. Those things should be clear. And if you're not creative yourself, you can actually outsource the whole process to TopTal, to 99 Designs, to Fiverr, to Upwork, to freelancer.com. You have a constellation of, or you can just hire a logo designer, a creative professional, like locally. Okay, this is kind of fine too. And you want to pick the right digital tools, because those will be quite essential in terms of helping you actually be like transition online. Okay, creating a website, those are important elements, because a good website is important because it gives you more flexibility in search results. It lends credibility to your business. It can provide functionality that enhances what you're doing offline too. Okay, and so you want to think about that. You also want to think about so when we talk about e-commerce platform, you got to think about building a mailing list. Okay, lead generation is really important. So building a mailing list is possibly, in our experience though, one of the most impactful marketing assets a business can have. It's an incredibly cheap, direct way of communicating with your warmest leads, and in a way that is unfiltered by social media or search engine algorithm. This is kind of important to really think. I want you to think about that, because at the end of the day, it's all about the strategy you have to transform your email marketing strategy, like your email marketing processes. Because at the end of the day, a good mailing list can be transformative for a new business. Okay, to do email marketing right, you will need to have a dedicated service. There are many available, but you can choose MailChimp, you can use GetResponse, you can use Sendinblue, you can choose you have a lot of them. Okay, and if you need help, you can also go with Aweber. If you need help, let us know. Ask the question. We'll always get back to you. What you want to do after this is to pick the right team. Okay, I don't care if you are telling me, right now I'm a solopreneur. Okay, you can start a little. You can start by yourself, but at some point you have to think about scaling. You have to think about growing. Okay, you can't just be a kid and just keep crawling all your life. You have to, like your store, your online store cannot be a kid and crawl all the time. At some point you got to get up and just start. Like, the beginning might be a little tough, but at some point you got to start walking for real. Okay, which means you need to have the right people to kind of support you. So and the thing here is that when we talk about picking the right team, depending on your finances, you may be in the fortunate position of being able to hire some people to work with you as you get your online business off the ground. Okay, and but before you do anything, my question to you is, do you need a team? Or you can start things off by yourself. If you do definitely need to hire staff, here are a few pointers on doing so. Don't be too fixated on finding the perfect candidate for a role. I mean, perfect in quotes, of course, because yes, experience and qualifications are important, but a team member, like if you have a team member who is enthusiastic and adaptable, you can actually do a lot with that team member. See, in our view, in our experience, what really matters here is mindset, is the work ethic, is the approach to work. Okay, don't be a cheap stick. Don't be a cheap, when it comes to wages, don't be a cheap ass. Let me just put it that way, because, it's really important to understand that if you want to have talent, be ready to pay for talent. And don't think about the cost. Think about, you are investing in your business. You are actually attract the right talent and pay them real well. Okay. You want to look beyond LinkedIn when recruiting. Your local area is likely to have a lot of social media groups for freelancers and job seekers. And you may find that once you post a job on this, word about it spreads like wildfire. Facebook has its own jobs board, which is free to use. Okay. Be creative about working arrangements. Particularly in the post-COVID era, many prospective employees will have expectations that working from home, using flexible working hours will be a possibility. and do things by the book. Okay, be compliant. Pay taxes, pay your taxes, okay? And you want to declare those employees. Remember all the legal and financial obligations of hiring staff. Very important. Next thing I want you to do here is to insure your online business. Okay, it's really important to understand that when you start, you might be thinking, well, I don't need insurance. But if something were to happen, okay, if something were to happen, you really want to be covered, and you got to be covered if you want to actually succeed in this business. Because if you have an insurable event that happens and you're not covered, this could actually doom your chances from ever existing again. So it's really important to think about that and to see, okay, how am I basically sustaining my business? Okay, what happens if somebody seriously injures themselves on your premises, or if somebody installs ransomware on your website, or if you publish content that actually labels somebody, or if your warehouses get flooded? I mean, there is a constant. I'm not trying to be negative or not marriage here, but stuff happens. This is life, and you got to be ready for those possibilities. Okay, and so there is a wide range in our view. There's a wide range of scenarios and possibilities that can have disastrous consequences for your online business. Okay, and its finances, and accordingly, it make a whole lot of sense to get insurance that covers them. Okay, and the types of insurance you will need will vary according to your business type. But key ones to consider include public liability insurance. So this actually covers you if somebody makes a claim against your business relating to an injury or property damage. You have professional indemnity insurance, also known as a professional liability insurance. So this can actually compensate your business if it's been sued by a client for making an error that leads to a financial loss. And cyber insurance also. So basically, this will protect your business from digital threats such as data breaches or hacks. Okay, so once you do everything, just launch your website. Okay, and you really are at the end of the journey here. Think about spreading the word around your business. Word of mouth plays an important role. Social media, of course. Make sure your website is your website and also your online store, if that is a store, is SEO compliant, not compliant, SEO ready. Okay. Think about having online ads if you have the budget for it. You can probably run a few ads on Facebook and Google. And think about your content. How do you actually do content marketing? Think about blogging. Those are important elements, okay? Remember that blogging can be an incredibly effective way to establish yourself as a thought leader in a particular field, okay? Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just giving you a checklist for starting an online business, how to actually go about it and really make money right off the bat. So we talked about getting your business. I'm just going to quickly recap here, okay? So get your business idea right, make a business plan, choose your business model, choose a business name, register your trademark, register your domain and social media handles, choose a legal structure, register your business with the relevant authorities. You want to sort out your business operations. You want to create your brand. You want to pick the right digital tools. You want to actually pick the right team. Ensure your business. You want to launch it. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.